Know Your Neighbor presents Cheer for the Reader Children's Book Review, a book reading and reviewing platform for young book lovers. We welcome the viewers to the fourth episode of this program.
Hi, my name is Gohan Kumar. I am 8 years old and I study in class 3. I love to sing, watch cartoons, collect stamps, and experiment with various objects in my home. But what I love most is to read books. In the stories of Srishendu Mukhopadhyay, we see many types of human characters and ghosts too. Usually his ghosts are kind-hearted and funny, not ferocious and dangerous sorts. Speaking of kind-hearted ghosts, let me tell you my feelings of a story which I had read recently. The story was written by Ruskin Bond. The name of the story is The Ghost Who Got In. It is found in a Ruskin Bond collection called Whispers in the Dark, a book of spooks. This is that book, Whispers in the Dark. That story is also found in another Ruskin Bond book called Too Much Trouble. This is a Too Much Trouble book. It happens many times that many of Ruskin Bond's stories are repeated in different books, though sometimes the names of the characters are changed, but the storyline remains the same. Anyway, coming back to the story The Ghost Who Got In. The Ghost Who Got In is the story of a Pret, a mischievous North Indian ghost who lived in a peepal tree beside the author's grandfather's house. A road passed by the tree. For many years, the Pret lived happily in that tree without disturbing the house. The author was a child then. Sometimes he could feel the presence of the Pret, though it was not seen by anybody. For example, the Pret would get into the engine of a car or bus. Afterwards, the vehicle would break down suddenly, or bicycle riders were struck by mango seeds and apricot stones. Drivers who parked their cars in the shade of the peepal tree often found their tires flat. The bicycle riders or drivers became very angry with the Bond, as they thought it was the young Bond who was responsible for the pranks. Then PWD or the Public Sewer Department cut the roadside peepal tree as they wanted to widen the road. When his dwelling place was cut, the Pret decided that he would live in the house of the author. Bond was sometimes aware of his presence by a tiny chuckling sound coming from behind him. He looked around, but there was nobody to be seen. But Bond was not afraid. He said, "All right, so you have come to stay with us. Now let me read." But the mischievous ghost many pranks. For example, he would hide grandmother's spectacles or destroy grandfather's prized sweet peas. Even he would pull the bedclothes of Uncle Ken or disturb Aunt Ruby Auntie by showering rose petals on her. When things got worse, Uncle Ken had an idea. He invited a sadhu to get rid of the evil spirit. The sadhu chanted various magic spells and collected 30 rupees fee. When he was leaving the house, he was graced with a shower of dead leaves, stale flowers, orange peels, and banana skins. All spells forgotten. He became frightened and ran out of the house speedily. Then grandfather proposed that they would have to find a new house and leave their house to get rid of the Pret. Grandfather took his old car out with bags and kitchen utensils on the top. But the car started behaving mischievously. It broke the wall of a neighbor and ran into his garden. And the chuckling sound of the Pret was heard from the roof of the car. Then grandfather turned round and began driving back to the old house. He said, "We cannot solve a problem by running away from it. Moreover, the priest has always been their neighbor. Therefore, it was the duty of them to offer him a shelter as his people tree was cut by the PWD. The lesson we learn from the story is not to avoid our neighbor but to stand with him or her in good or bad. Thank you.